I was born into a life where dreams learned to whisper instead of shout. Our house stood at the edge of the village, built of cracked bricks and patched tin sheets that rattled whenever a wind passed through. Poverty was not a stranger to me. It was a constant companion that walked beside me from childhood into adulthood. Yet within that poverty lived a heart full of love, humble, sincere, and unashamed. My father was a laborer. Every morning before the sun rose, he left the house with worn-out shoes and returned at night, with tired eyes and hands rough like sandpaper. My mother stitched clothes for neighbors, her needle moving faster than her worries. From them, I learned two things early in life. Dignity does not depend on wealth, and love is proven through sacrifice. Despite our struggles, I believed in love. Not the kind that shines in movies or is wrapped in luxury, but the quiet kind that survives hunger, patience, and faith. Her name was Aisha. I met her at a small bookstore near the bus stand where I worked as a helper. She came there often, not to buy books, but to read. She would stand in one corner, carefully turning pages, lost in another world. She wore simple clothes, but her eyes carried dreams much bigger than mine. The first time she smiled at me while asking for a book, my heart forgot its poverty. We began talking slowly, short conversations, polite smiles, shared silences. I told her about my work, my family, and my dreams that often felt too heavy to carry. She listened, truly listened, without judgment. I didn't have fancy words or expensive gifts, but I offered honesty. And she offered understanding. Love grew between us quietly, like a plant growing between stones. I never hid my poverty from her. I told her I had no land, no savings, no powerful connections, only a heart that would never betray her. She smiled and said, "Richness is not counted in money alone." Those words became my strength. But society does not see love, though we lovers do. When her family learned about me, their faces hardened. They were not cruel people, but fear ruled them. Fear of society's judgment, fear of an uncertain future, fear of poverty itself. "What can he give you?" her mother asked. "Love," Aisha replied. "Love doesn't buy food," her father said quietly. I stood before them one evening, my hands shaking but my voice steady. I promised to work harder than ever, to build a future brick by brick. I didn't beg for pity. I asked for a chance. They gave me time, but time can be both a blessing and a curse. I worked everywhere I could, construction sites, warehouses, night shifts. My body grew tired, but my hope stayed awake. I saved every possible coin, skipping meals, walking miles instead of taking transport. Every drop of sweat carried her name. Poverty, Aisha supported me silently. She never demanded, never complained. Sometimes we met under the old neem tree near the village well. We spoke about simple dreams, a small home, laughter, peace.
Those dreams felt rich enough to me. But life tested us. One day, a wealthy proposal came for her. A man with a big house, a car, and a respected family. Her parents were relieved. Society approved. The future looked secure. Aisha cried when she told me. "Don't want riches without you," she said, her voice trembling. "I don't want to be the reason you suffer," I replied. That night, I understood the deepest pain of poverty, not hunger, not torn clothes, but the fear of losing love because you have nothing to offer except your heart. Days passed like slow poison. Her wedding date was fixed. I smiled in front of people and broke alone at night. I prayed not for wealth, but for strength to let her go if that was her happiness. On the day before her wedding, she came to see me one last time. "I chose you," she said firmly, "and a life of struggle, I asked. A life of truth, she replied. She went home and told her parents she would not marry anyone else. The storm that followed was fierce. Tears, anger, threats, but also realization. Her father came to see me the next morning. He looked older than before. I don't want my daughter to be rich and unhappy, he said. If you fail her, I will never forgive you. I nodded. That was fair. We married simply, without gold, without celebration, only blessings and hope. Life after marriage was not easy. Poverty doesn't disappear because love arrives. There were days we slept hungry, nights filled with worry. But there was also laughter, shared tea, shared silence, shared courage. Aisha worked as a tutor. I continued working wherever I could. Slowly life changed, not suddenly but honestly. We learn that happiness grows when two people face hardship together. Years later, when I finally opened my own small business, I looked at her and smiled. My humble love and my poverty once defined me, I said. And now? She asked. Now my love is still humble, I replied. But my poverty no longer owns me. She smiled the same smile that first captured my heart. And I realized something important. Poverty can test love, but it cannot defeat love that is true. Because humble love, when rooted in honesty and patience, is richer than any wealth this world can offer.